Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now I'm taking a look at the Super Nintendo Entertainment System port of the famed first-person shooter Doom, which was a massive hit for the Windows PCs in 1993, and it got ported to quite a few systems, including the Super Nintendo, which we're seeing here, to try and help it better handle the 3D graphics, like Starwing before it. This uses this has the Super FX chip in the cartridge. However, even with it, it's still not exactly rapid. It's not totally slow, but it's not particularly. It's not particularly slick and running a blistering pace either. So yeah, so you can pick up armor and health packs and stim packs and the like, and you can also pick up other weapons. You start off with you can use your fist, which has a knuckle duster on it, or you got this pistol here. There's heavy duty armor there, or mega armor as it's you can see the armor rating in the bottom right corner there. You're basically in each level you're trying to find your way to the exit and defend off onslaughts from various different rather malevolent enemies. Yeah, I mean, look how blocky all this is. I don't think they should have even attempted this on the Super Nintendo. Well, I don't just think they shouldn't have attempted it. I know they shouldn't have attempted it. Look at that. That looks just like a jumble of pixels coming towards me. If anyway it gets up close, you realise it's a soldier. And you can see in the bottom middle of the screen, as well as a health meter, your face becomes a bit more noticeably bloodied, isn't it? Oh, God. Those just look like a whole messy pixels. You don't look up and down in this. You didn't do any looking up and down in Doom. Oh, shotgun shells there, but no actual shotgun. Look at that. Yeah, you can sidestep using the shoulder buttons. I died there. And as with other versions, there are hidden bits where you might be able to find an anomaly in the wall design, which might suggest the possibility that there's a hidden door there. Or you might accidentally come across something that's not so obvious, who knows. But the first thing I'm going to do is get that armour. I mean, the positioning of the controls is fine, but the problem is there's a bit of a delay on the responsiveness of the controls because the Super Nintendo just wasn't built to handle first-person shooter games like this, especially not ones which use as much of the screen as Doom does. You don't even get to see the bullets coming at you in this version. At least not the ones from the soldiers. So those demons that shoot the fireballs at you, yeah, you can see those, even though they look like very blocky messes. Yeah, now we know that's a soldier. I'm not even going to try and let it get close to me. I mean, look at that. so blocky, and frame rate really isn't that great. Still, it would have been a lot worse were it not for the Super FX chip. God, it's also quite easy to get to snag on walls in this as well. Not ideal. That's the exit there, but I'm not going to go in there just. Top up health and the like. It seems like those blue bottles are the only way you can. Music's all right, although it's not exactly the best quality. Oh, don't go in that. You know, you get stuck on corners and things. Alright. And then when you're done, you simply press this button in the exit, and then that's it. Level completed, and it tells you how many items in the level you picked up, how many of the enemies you killed, and how many secret areas you found. I do know there is a secret area in that room. I mean, the quality of this particular music isn't too bad. That's the lift I've just come from. Lift or elevator if you're in the United States. Oh, God. Oh, dearie me. Oh, I'm starting to get a bit of a bloody nose there. I got a lift here. Yay, you got the shotgun. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, did I? I'll just end up going back up. That's where I came from. That's the start of the level. Oh, God. Oh, someone's shooting at me. Yeah, because it's a reasonably late game in the Super Nintendo's life. There wasn't quite the same problem with Nintendo's once active prohibitions about graphic depictions of death and excessive violence. So there's a bit of blood in this. Because I got the red key there, so now I can go through that door that's near where I started. Remember, there was a door that had red lights all around it. If you see a door like that with red lights all around it, it tells you need a red key to go through it. Right, picked up some ammo there. Right, this is back in the bit where I started. The clip there. See, some of the clips are a bit hard to see as well unless you're really alert. Where's that red door? There it is. See these red lights around it. Had I not picked up that red key, which is now showing in one of the key slots above the weapon marker near the bottom middle of the screen, I wouldn't have been able to go through that door, but now that I've got it, I can. Oh, God, don't get stuck on the scenery. So you get stuck on edges in this version. it's too much for the Super Nintendo. It's as simple as that. The Super Nintendo is fine at the simple two-dimensional stuff, but if you try and do 3D FPSs to this extent, it just struggles. I mean, even with the Super FX chip, it's a bit of a problem. Oh, running a bit low on health. Oh God. Yeah, you got different types of health pack in this. Pull the lever, or lever if you're in the United States. Yeah, another thing about the limitations of the screen resolution is you can't see up and down as much as you perhaps can in other versions, like the original PC version. So you can sometimes be wondering where you need to go next, whereas in other versions it would have been a lot clearer because you could see more of the screen. Oh God. Yeah. It's not particularly scary either. I mean, when you look at the other versions, which is superior, you get this really unsettling atmosphere, and that's just nowhere to be found in this version. I didn't kill everything in that level, so. No, this isn't an amazing port by any stretch of the imagination. It's where are you? Yeah, the controls are a bit laboured. They're not severely delayed, but they're enough to they're delayed enough and a bit floaty enough to be a bit of a problem. See, there's a door for which I need a blue key, hence the blue lights around it. Oh. I mean, it's good that they kept in the little details like the cocking of the shotgun after you fired the shot from it. I think that all the weapons from the original PC version are also in this. I mean, I know for a fact that the chainsaw is in it because I've found it on previous goes of this. Oh God. Yeah, it isn't really mind-blowing. Another shotgun, not that I need it because I've already got it. I think the double-barreled shotgun's also in this version. The one which you might have seen in other versions, in which it fires from both barrels at once, and it's replaced with an animation in which we've hidden it. God. I mean, everything in the distance is just so indistinct. It just looks like a blocky, juddery mess. Oh. Oh, someone's. Oh, there you are. Oh, well, I wasn't even aiming for him and I hit him. Yeah, this. There's the blue key. God, it's so dark, I can barely see anything. And the darkness effect really isn't that good in this. So those buttons like you get at the exit doors. Yeah, this was actually my first experience of Doom, as I never had a PC and nor any of the PlayStations when Doom first became popular. I actually rented this out from a Blockbuster store to see what it was like, and it was quite surprised that the Super Nintendo actually had a port of Doom in the first place. But it did, and it really shouldn't have done. It's too much for the poor Super Nintendo. Some of the music's a bit hit and miss, as I said. That one that was on the level prior to this one was fairly good, but the instrument samples are a bit muffled and don't really have the same sense of urgency about them that made the original PC game so foreboding. Again, I couldn't move forward because it got stuck on the scenery again. Oh, see, I could barely see that because the screen resolution is so blocky. There's something up there. Got it. Oh God! I've got another shotgun. Except it's not actually another shotgun. It's just the same shotgun I've been getting previously. I'm turning into stairs. Oh God! What? I can barely see anything. I can't see some of the enemies. Oh, there you are. See, I just couldn't see him. So that's Doom for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. A pretty disappointing and over-ambitious port that shouldn't really have happened. The poor machine just can't handle this kind of thing effectively, even with the Super FX chip, as this just shows. Graphics, well, they had to do without floor detail and ceiling detail, so it's just gradient here. They tried their best to ape the wall detail, but alas and alack, the Super Nintendo's technical limitations mean that it wasn't really geared up for that kind of thing, so it does look rather blocky. I mean, I'm not even right next to that wall that's immediately in front of my corpse, and look how blocky it looks already. and the way everything moves isn't quite as slick as it really needed to be convincing, which is further proof that this version should never really have been attempted. Sound effects, they don't really invoke the atmosphere requires to make the foreboding nature of the original PC version work. You just don't get the same feeling playing this version that you do other versions like on the PC or the PlayStation 1. And I've heard that the port on Jaguar is one of the few decent games for that system. The Atari Jaguar, I mean. So the sound effects are disappointing, and the music, although these tunes themselves are okay, they don't really have enough oomph in the instrument samples to invoke the kind of atmosphere necessary to make Doom the creepy, genuinely scary game that it is. Gameplay. The controls are a bit on the floaty side and don't respond as quickly as they really need to. And the fact that the screen resolution is so reduced in this version means that you can't see up and down as much as you could in other versions, which in turn means that you sometimes can't see enemies very well, or even perhaps where you might need to go next for the way you could have done with a larger screen resolution. And sometimes enemies, particularly when they're in distance, just look like a juddery, shimmering, blocky mess, and you can't see what they are. And sometimes you can't even see it. There's an enemy there until you've already been hit. So yeah, this isn't a massively successful attempt at porting Doom to the Super Nintendo. Even with the Super FX chip, it's struggling. So I'm going to give the Super Nintendo version of Doom 5 out of 10. Nice try, but the SNES just can't handle it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.